The term woke mind viruses refers to an ideology where activism, outrage, and identity politics take priority over facts, logic, and reality. It's not just about being socially aware, it's about enforcing a worldview where disagreement is punished, science is ignored, and truth is rewritten. Disagree? You're cancelled. Ask questions? You're a problem. Think differently? You're dangerous. Let's break down how this virus is destroying common sense, one step at a time. Imagine waking up one day and being told that facts don't exist anymore. That basic truths like biological sex are just social constructs. When reality becomes subjective, confusion replaces clarity and ideology replaces reason. For decades, women fought for fair competition in sports. Now, biological men are winning women's championships, setting records, and taking scholarships, all in the name of inclusion. But what about fairness? What about the women who trained their whole lives? Common sense says men and women are different. The woke mind virus says that's bigotry. The best person for the job? That used to be the standard. But in a world infected by the woke mind virus, skills don't matter, your identity does. DEI is supposed to promote fairness, but in reality, it's about quotas, preferences, and political ideology. Think about it, do you want a pilot, doctor, or engineer who was chosen based on their race or gender instead of their ability? Common sense says no, woke ideology says yes. Common sense tells us that discussion leads to progress. But in today's world, disagreeing with the wrong narrative can cost you your job, your reputation, or even your ability to speak freely. People stay silent out of fear, not because they agree, but because they don't want to be the next target. How is that progress? We all have emotions, but should they dictate policy? When decisions are made based on feelings instead of facts, we get absurd results, like people demanding safe spaces from differing opinions. But reality doesn't care about your feelings, and common sense tells us that truth is not subjective. Caring for the environment? That's common sense. Shutting down energy production, banning gas stoves, and forcing people to buy electric cars they can't afford? That's the woke mind virus. Instead of real solutions, we get fear-based activism that hurts the working class, destroys jobs, and hands more control to governments and corporations. Funny how the loudest climate activists still fly private jets, huh? Ever notice how the loudest advocates for tolerance are often the most intolerant? They preach diversity of thought, until they hear an opinion they don't like. They claim to support equality, while demanding special privileges. Common sense says you can't have it both ways. Once upon a time, overcoming challenges was a sign of strength. Now being a victim is a badge of honor. The more oppressed you claim to be, the more power and attention you get. But what happens when everyone competes to be the biggest victim? Society stops rewarding merit and starts rewarding weakness. Words are now violence. Silence is violence. But actual violence? Well, that's just a mostly peaceful protest. The woke mind virus distorts language to control people. It blurs the line between actual harm and mere disagreement. And when words lose meaning, so does common sense. Think about it. Would you rather have a doctor who was chosen for their skills or for their identity? Common sense tells us that qualifications matter. But in a woke world, identity politics takes priority. When merit is replaced by quotas, excellence disappears and society crumbles. The woke mind virus thrives on fear, guilt, and control. But here's the truth. It only spreads if you let it. You don't have to accept nonsense, you don't have to stay silent, and you don't have to watch common sense disappear. Think critically, speak freely, and most importantly, never let anyone tell you that reality is up for debate. What do you think? Is the woke mind virus real? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Stay sharp, stay free, and stay awake to the truth.